I notice that the slant of the American mainstream media is pro-Palestinian, as is the push of the socialist left, the so-called Squad, and the millennials and Gen Z protesters across America. I read in Reuters that thousands of pro-Palestinian protesters marched in Britain. As I've said before, it's not my role to take a position as to the rightness or wrongness of Israel or of the Palestinian cause. I am not here to take a side. Instead, I make sense of current events by putting them in a biblical context. There are prophecies of the end times that say the world will turn against Israel and Jerusalem will stand alone on the world stage. Zechariah 14:2 describes the attack, capture, and plundering of the city and therefore also the nation of Israel. This attack is also described as Armageddon in Ezekiel 38 and 39, Revelation 16 and 19, Daniel 11, and other texts. The terms in these texts describe a horrifying situation of destruction, ransacking, rape, and exile. The texts don't describe, though, why the nations will converge on Israel. The only clue is that the word plunder is found in several texts. In our day, we might wonder what they might plunder. Two things come to mind, and I'd love your feedback on them. One is technology, for which Israel is known, and the other is as a religious center. Plunder doesn't just have to be for earthly goods. It could also be to capture the religious center of humanity. Ezekiel 5:5 identifies Israel as the center of nations, the place where God is, as if there were such a place where God were confined. But it's true that much of the world perceives Jerusalem to be the focus of God's presence on earth and the center of religious observance. The Bible prophesies that in the days of Antichrist, false religious beliefs and blasphemous perspectives and behaviors will characterize the world. It's no surprise that it would become important to the political entity who wishes to dominate the world's way of thinking that capturing Jerusalem would be an important part of that effort. It's also no surprise that a religious person or movement who wishes to capture the world's devotion would see the importance of owning and controlling Jerusalem. Whether we are near the end times is still impossible to tell. What tripped my attention today for this video was all of the anti-Israel sentiment the mainstream media makes sure we see. So, talk to me about this. Let's converse.